On October 31st, 1917, 10 people showed up for work at Arlington Meadows mortuary. Not one of them was ever seen again. To this day, not one clue has ever been uncovered as to the whereabouts of those 10 people, or about what happened on that fateful night.
Hello, and welcome to the final chapter as Sullivan Scarefest returns to Arlington Meadows. As we've uncovered in parts 1 and 2, Arlington Meadows has a long history of keeping things quiet.
We were quickly running out of options in our search for answers when we received an email that claimed to have knowledge of the events that happened almost 100 years ago.
A word of caution, we have no way to verify if the information contained in this email is accurate, but if true, the mystery may end exactly where it began, on the grounds of Arlington Meadows Cemetery and Mortuary. Shortly after releasing Part 2, we received the email that claimed to have knowledge of the events at Arlington Meadows. It tells of a story that has been passed down from generation to generation.
The email tells of a discussion at a gathering at the home of Robert F. Stanford, the town treasurer. Late in the evening, an obviously intoxicated and visibly shaken Stanford was quickly rushed off to bed. As he was rushed out of the room, he was overheard saying, "I should have never looked in that bureau, and someone will find the truth at plot 43.
After doing some checking, we were able to determine that even though the bodies were never found, there was in fact a grave marker at Arlington Meadows for Mr. and Mrs. Williams. That grave marker? Plot 43. Was this some sort of elaborate hoax? The only way for us to find out was to check for ourselves.
When we arrived, we used the cemetery plat to find plot 43. We were able to locate the gravestone for Mr. and Mrs. Williams. At first, nothing seemed to be out of place. No sign of anything unusual. After doing a little digging around the headstone, we uncovered something hidden beneath the right corner of the tombstone.
What we found was a small metal container. Inside the container, there were 3 items: a pocket watch, a necklace, and a small piece of parchment with a note written on it. What was written on the note was shocking.
Again, a word of warning. We have no way to verify this information. But if true, this could be the first piece of real evidence in almost 100 years. The letter was from Robert F. Stanford. Here is what that letter said. On the evening of the 1st of May, 1921, I was a dinner guest at the home of J. Henry Lawrence. At about 8:30 in the evening, I excused myself to use the restroom. As I passed a bedroom, I noticed a door on a bureau that was slightly ajar. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but something was drawing me towards the bureau. I opened the door fully, and what I saw filled me with dread. The bureau was filled with personal items: jewelry, eyeglasses, cufflinks. Among the items, I recognized 2 items, a pocket watch and a necklace. Both items I had seen Mr. and Mrs. Williams wearing on multiple occasions. Even though I knew what this meant and the danger it would put me in, I decided to take the watch and the necklace. I placed the items at plot 43 in hopes that someday J. Henry Lawrence could be held accountable for his crimes. A better man may have had the courage to go to the authorities. Please do not judge me too harshly for my decisions. In my opinion, it is quite possible J. Henry Lawrence may have been responsible for all of the disappearances in the Arlington Meadows area, including my daughter Agnes. I have already lost so much, I did not want to lose what little I had left, as much as I wanted justice for Agnes. If he was able to make all of these people disappear, surely one more would not be a challenge. Respectfully, Robert F. Stanford. On July 16, 1921, just over 2 months after the writing of this letter, Robert F. Stanford died of heart failure.
Could all these disappearances tie back to J. Henry Lawrence? Could the silence all these years be to hide the fact that Arlington Meadows had one of the first serial killers in the United States? Or was this all some sort of elaborate hoax? We may never know for sure.
We have turned over the box and its contents, as well as all the information we have uncovered in this series, to the Arlington Meadows Police Department. Even though they accepted the items, we were assured this was nothing more than a hoax.
Arlington Meadows now has a place to start in unraveling this 100-year-old mystery. But remember, Arlington Meadows has a long history of making things disappear. This time, maybe even the truth. Thanks for joining us as Sullivan Scarefest returned to Arlington Meadows.